It looks like we're live. Hey, Sue, how are you?
Good. I have to learn how to say good evening.
That's
We
right.
are changing it up a little bit. I guess we're gonna have to come up with a new name instead of QFF. So,
Yeah. Or I was thinking we
so
could we could be Quick Fire Fridays now on Thursdays.
yeah, there you go. I
Why
like
not?
that. We
Our
can do
name will
whatever we want.
tell our history. One day it'll
There
be
you
called
go.
Quick Fire Fridays. Was once on Thursdays or was started
Right.
Fridays, Thursdays, and now it's Mondays.
Right. Well, I'll just explain to people the reason we're doing this is we were doing this Thursdays at noon, and a number of realtors that wanted to watch it was just, it's not a good time. It's
Right.
right smack in the middle of the day. Fridays are a busy day. So we said we would try Thursdays to see how that works for, well, your schedule and my schedule, and of course everyone else's. So
Yep.
we'll give this a whirl for about 3 months and see what happens. So if they're looking for us, QFF, I guess you have to change it up on your page, on
Yeah,
your website.
I'll figure something out here. I'll get that caught up.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, all is good and excited. I think what we're going to talk about today is Facebook. It's still around, and agents are still questioning things about it. And I know you must get questions all the time. And I know we really haven't taught a class in a long time. At least I haven't for the realtors on Facebook for a long time. And because I guess we just assume everybody's on it right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't touched that topic for a bit. I think I have one coming up here shortly, but it's been probably, I bet you,
a year and a
I think
half.
no, I did some at the very beginning
Oh,
of
did you?
this year,
Okay.
like I think January or February, but I haven't done anything since.
Okay. Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, we haven't done anything for the, like, in the big classroom setting because everything else has gotten sidetracked.
Right.
Um, all the other tools and things that agents need. So I thought it might be a good topic just to revisit what's happening with Facebook, why agents should be on it, what they should be doing, what they should not be doing, and kind of give a quick overview. So I thought we'd first look at and talk about the difference between a personal profile and a business page. Um, Quickly, I think the easiest for me when I tell people is a personal profile is that profile of yourself. When you first set up your Facebook page, you're going to give it your information. That's your personal profile, and that should not really be what you're putting your business on. I mean, that should be things you're sharing for fun and entertainment, with your family and your friends, not necessarily your clients and your customers. So once you have a Facebook profile, then from there, you can go and create pages. You can do groups, and those are different as well. Groups you have to be invited to join, and some can be private. So I think for real estate, for the average agent wanting to put out their business out there, a business page is the way to go, not a group. A group might be something specific for, like, maybe a neighborhood, maybe on a neighborhood group or something. But for your business, pages would be the way to go, I would think, right?
Yeah, I think so. And the group side of things, I definitely have seen some real estate brokerages have like a private group page for them and their agents, so they can post privately just within their own company. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I see that a lot. But pages for sure, I think, are the main place because it's also the only place where you can run ads from if you decide to jump into the world of Facebook ads. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So one of the things I know, I'm trying to hit on some of the recent questions I've gotten, and I guess it's like one more thing that agents have to do, and how do you keep up to doing it? I think that's the biggest thing agents have, is that they start pages and then they get busy and they forget, oh, I didn't post anything, and so there's no activity. They don't see the value in that. So one of my tips that I wanted to talk about was what helps me, because I still actively have a number of pages and a few groups that I manage um, for real estate and privately as well. But I pick a day of the week, and it happens to be Sunday for me. Sometimes Monday if I'm busy on Sunday, but most times Sunday, I pretty much sit down and I figure out for the week what topics I want to cover. what listings I want to put out there, whatever's coming up for the week in real estate that I want to get out there. And using Facebook, you can post something using the schedule later date. And I'm going to try to, let's see, I'm going to do a screen share here. Let's see. Let's go here. I guess we'll do this one. Tell me when you see Facebook on here.
I see it.
Okay. So you're seeing my Facebook page? Is that what you're seeing right now?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So you can only post scheduled posts on a business page. You can't do it on your personal profile. Because right now this would be me, and you see if you click post, it's going to go to post. There's no option for you to schedule something ahead of time. So I'm going to go to my business page. Internet's a little slow. Are you seeing that now?
Yep, got it.
Great. So this is my business page. So if I wanted to put something in here, what I would do is I would say whatever I want to type in there. And then you see where it says publish. And then right over here is the arrow key. When you click on that, you can actually schedule it. You can backdate it, or you can save it as a draft. So what I do is I go in here and I'll hit schedule. And this little calendar comes up. You click on it and just pick a day. So like if I was scheduling something for next week, I mean, you can go out and schedule all this out here, so like far away. And then put the time in there as well. So I'm going to get out of there right now. But that's how easy it is. So it might take me half an hour, depending on how much I'm actually putting out there, to sit down on a Sunday and post out to Facebook those scheduled posts. And then I don't really worry about it unless I see something during the week that I want to post automatically. Then I'll do something extra. But I pretty much don't worry about it the rest of the week. And at least that keeps my pages out there. These people see me posting. They don't know that I had posted, ahead of time. But it's a great tool for agents if they want to, schedule their listings out there. Pick a listing for every day and pop it out there. The average time. What do you do for recommended time? I know I usually post minimally once a day. And if I can, the best for me when I best results is 3 times a day. I'll do one in the morning sometime, anywhere from 8 to 11, and then somewhere between like 2 and 4, and then sometime at night between 8 and 11. Just something that I might post out there. What do you see? What do you do? Do you have any recommendations for that, Pierre?
Well, yeah, I like what you suggested. We try to do 3 posts a day as a minimum, and sometimes if it's a super busy day, there's a lot going on, and that we have particular activity or posts that we think we might go as many as 5, but typically 3, and spreading them out time wise. I like the suggested times you gave, and I think as you do your posting, if you pay attention to sort of times a day when you're posting and which posts are getting activity and which aren't, and start looking for patterns, if you look at your insights, it'll start to tell you, this post got more engagement than this post. And if you, after enough time, you'll start seeing a pattern. Sometimes it's due to the time of the day. Sometimes it's due to the type of post, whether it's a post with a picture, a post with a video, post with nothing, if it's a joke, if it's it just depends on the page and the audience and your way of communicating.
Right.
But by paying attention to it, we found, over time, you'll get a bit of a feel for your audience and what they like and when they like it. And it's just smart to pay attention to those things. And I think the times that you said that you do, I think is a perfect sort of starting point. And then if you're able to kind of pay attention to it, you might find that your clientele loves all their stuff during the work hours, or they love it all late at night. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah.
And there's a lot of different tools out there. If you don't have a lot of listings that you want to post, or you're looking just for topics, you can go to Flipboard. There's all kinds of, just out of the newspaper. You see an article in the Sun News, post it out there. Just get it out there, copy the link and post it up there. So what other sites are you seeing now for good content?
Oh, well, it depends on what the content or what your audience is. In real estate, we pull, we focus on a couple things. Number one is the community. So, if it's a generic page for real estate in Myrtle Beach, we will pull anything to do with activities, community events, things to do, that kind of stuff. So, a person who's, as you know, Myrtle Beach has got a lot of people moving here from somewhere else. So they like to hear about that kind of thing. So we post a lot of that type of activity. In respect to real estate, we will post in as fun a ways we can think of doing it, stuff about,
Hmm.
you know, uh, luxury home area, or here's some new waterfront areas that you may not have heard of, or different places and types of property that are available, buyer guides, tips on getting the most for your home, things like that, if you want to tie right into real estate. And then,
Area information too, like just about restaurants to me.
yep.
I mean, I always post when I'm going out to eat just because people like to see where, where am I going now, and oh, what restaurant is that? And you get a lot of comments about things like that. So, especially for people that are following you. So, restaurants are always good, or attractions that you're going to. I think that's good to post on your Facebook page.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And anything that inspires people, I'm just thinking back, probably our most active real estate page here in Myrtle Beach. We post sort of what I just talked about, but probably
Hmm.
more than anything, we post quotes that inspire people to dream about living here and what it's like to be here. And I think, I know for myself and my wife, when we decided to move here, it was because of the thought, how cool would it be to live at the beach?
Right.
And and it's not hard, I
And
don't
then
think, for
once you
most.
move here, you're working, you never get to the
Yeah,
beach.
you never get there, but the
But we live here.
but it's funny how those posts get some of the most engagement. Like, and I suggest not working all that hard at it, in the sense of worrying that you have to create all this stuff from scratch. I think that's what a lot of
Hmm.
people think of, but we repurpose a lot of other people's great content. We share it. We give them full credit for
Right.
it, that it's theirs. Like, there's a tremendous number of great photographers, for example, here in Myrtle Beach. And some of the posts that we get some of the most activity on, we never took any of those pictures. We just say, hey, we put our own caption to it. We give full credit to the photographer that
Hmm.
took that picture, and share it. And people
That's a good
absolutely,
point to put out there, is that don't plagiarize people.
yeah,
Make
yeah, they
sure if
don't
you're
like it.
copying something, just copy it and say from the Sun News or
Yeah.
whatever. Don't reprint and let people think you're writing that article.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
mean, it's fine to, I think most people are okay with you sharing their material, just as long as you give them proper accreditation. Now,
absolutely, yep.
if it's something that is supposed to be purchased, like there are photos out there on this planet that are supposed to be purchased, and if you go around just sharing stuff willy nilly, well, you'll get in trouble.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's I think a lot depends upon, in real estate, for example, there's so many different niches that a person can focus on. I know you
Hmm.
and I've talked about this many, many times. You've got to have a focus. You got to have a niche that you're targeting, and within that niche, I cannot think of a single niche where a great photo and a caption about it couldn't be used. But within your niche, when you narrow it down, it just makes it that much easier to tie everything you're posting there, pictures, quotes, anything about real estate,
Right.
restaurants, etc. It just makes it that much easier to tie it into the niche that you're trying to focus on, whether that's
Right.
an area of town, whether that's a type of real estate or a type of client, whether they're, a buyer, a seller, or, all those things. And I think you and I both know that we see so many Facebook pages out there that are just generic. And if you've got one like that, you better have some muscle behind it. You better be posting a lot, because you're going to attract the right audience. You got to put a lot of stuff up there. Whereas if you're in a niche, it's a little bit easier. If you're an expert on North Beach Plantation, as an example, and you know that area extremely well, it's not hard to post some really unique, fun, exciting pictures, videos, etc. of that area. If you're there all the time, because that's the real estate area you serve, it's really easy for you to snap a quick video. Here's what the beach is like today. Here's the shoreline. Here's,
Exactly. Yep.
And people that are interested.
I mean, we see a lot of people doing that. Not even just realtors. We see a lot of people. That's what they post. So it's a great thing. And then talking about those same things for posting pictures, those are great ideas for starting your Facebook page, is to select whatever your niche might be. And we talked about that at one of our recent webinars we just did a few weeks ago on one of our QFFs. We did one on niche marketing. So people might want to look on your website for that, because I think that would tie in nicely to this. But anyhow, and he said, I have multiple pages as well as you do too. So you can have multiple pages. You can have, number one, your personal profile. Then you should have a business page, so that you're not posting your listings on your personal profile. It actually used to be against Facebook's business model, not that you could not do it. I don't know whether they've eased up on that or not, but in the terms of agreement with Facebook, you weren't supposed to post anything for sale or anything like that on your personal profile. So I don't know if that's still the way or not. I
mean, I believe their terms of service, their TOS, I think is still that way. I do not believe it's
but so many agents are doing that.
Oh yeah, lots.
At any time, if Facebook wanted to, they could shut your page down for that reason. So for those agents that are in that position, just go ahead and start a Facebook page, and start your business page for what your business real estate is. And then you could even add some on there as to your niche, which might be waterway properties or, golf communities. But that's another way to use Facebook and drive a lot of traffic. And then Facebook ads, which I know that you do a lot of Facebook ads.
Yeah. We love Facebook ads, but probably a disclaimer on Facebook ads. Just like every piece of advertising or every piece of marketing, there are going to be in the pool of leads that you get from any type of advertiser, any type of marketing, there's going to be some good ones and there will be some that aren't good. But
you got to weed them out.
Yeah, but most importantly, doing what you just said. And my experience has been, it's unfortunate or it's fortunate for the good real estate person or the good business person, real estate person who understands the value of consistent and ongoing and never ending follow-up. That, one phone call or one email back, and I'll tell you, some don't even do that. And they wonder why their leads don't work out. But, most realtors still, it just blows me away. They get leads and they call once or email once. They don't hear anything back. And and they say, well, they didn't work or etc.
Well, that goes down to they don't have a system.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. They're just trying to do everything. They're trying to do everything without a system and not a follow. For one thing to say, I'm going to follow up, but you got to have systems in place.
Absolutely.
And then it makes it easy.
And we've talked about that before. And I just keep bringing it up because, I think the most common thing I hear over and over, regardless of, even if they're not clients of ours, if they're just doing marketing with somebody else or doing their own, and they bring up the subject of, oh, my leads aren't converting very well. And so I ask a couple of questions, and the same thing is right there on the surface. It's well, just because you called once, they don't even know you yet. Like you are a stranger. They don't know you from Adam.
Right. So let's think about it. Would you do business with a stranger? No.
Right. You got to do some work to build a little bit of a relationship. So it's just like all things. I think everyone. I think a lot of people see that Facebook can be a valuable tool. They hear stories of people who are able to use Facebook in various ways to build their business. And They struggle to figure out how. I would challenge all those people to, whoever that is that's doing well, that they know, sit down and really ask what that person's really doing. And then if you want to get the same success, you better be prepared to do and set
Right.
up the exact same thing.
Well, one of the things that I like about Facebook ads, and I don't know any other advertising that is so targeted, is you can pick the demographics, the age, the where in the United States you want to target. I mean, I don't know where else you could do that to get down to that targeted of spending your money. You know,
Yeah.
if you do a direct mail, the best you can do is by address. Okay, I'm going to pick this street and mail to that street, but you don't know who's living there, their age, or anything like that. Where Facebook, that's already in there. You pretty much have that information in the background. So
Yeah.
and it's just by doing the ads, it's going to put that on those people's. It's going to pop up on their Facebook page. That's how it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. You know, I totally agree.
But I don't know anybody else that can target ads like that. Do you?
Well, they're not as well, not as deeply as Facebook can, but there are and or with as little expense as you can with Facebook. There are other database systems out there that you can definitely target through remarketing and retargeting and different things like that.
This is fairly reasonable for an average realtor to do.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not going to take them all day to figure it out.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, big data, when Facebook started pulling in some of their big data, and, things like now where you can put a Facebook ad together and actually screen out people who've bought a home in the last year. If they've already bought a home this past year and you were trying to find somebody who's looking to buy a home, they're probably not somebody you should spend any ad dollars on. Does that make sense?
Right.
And, or people who, like in our market, people who you're looking to attract the person, let's say, who wants to buy a second home. So they probably don't live here right now. Well, the ability to target people who are visiting the area as we speak, and target ads just to those people who are here right now, who may also have shown an interest in sites like Trulia and Zillow. So, i.e., they have been looking at real estate. They happen to be visiting Myrtle Beach right now. Does that mean all of them are looking to buy real estate in Myrtle Beach? No, but when you combine a bunch of different targeting within your audience that you're hitting, all I can tell you, what I just shared is an example of something that works exceptionally well.
Right. Well, I think that's, like, again, I just wish more, and I know a lot of realtors use Facebook out there, and I see it. Some use it very, very good, and others, they're just using their personal profile still. They don't really have a business page or anything. So I think it's important that they do go to that next level, try to build up the business and get going, because they'll see a difference. I mean, you don't want to be targeting people on your Facebook personal profile when it's your whole family, and they don't really care about buying a house from you right now. So
yeah, I mean, would it help to show some of the? Well, I don't know. Maybe it might be a little. Well, I mean, I could. Do you think it would help at all to show what it's like to create an ad and some of the things you can choose from, or do you think we should just continue on with what we're doing?
We got about 7 minutes, so I think
Okay, I'll just do a quickie version. Let me see if I can share the right screen here. I think this is it. Let's see. I guess we'll find out. Are you looking at where it says advertise on Facebook?
Yes. Okay. Can you make that? Can you make your screen bigger?
I can. Control. How's that?
Better, thanks.
Okay, so just to show you where I got to that, at the top of your Facebook screen, can you see my mouse over here on the right?
Yep.
Yeah, and the little drop down arrow, create ads right here, and when you click that, this is where you come to.
And now, you can only get to that from a business page, or can you do it from a profile page?
I'm just logged in as myself right now.
Okay, so you're on your personal profile.
Yeah, and you would just click the chevron, but you can do that from a page too. But you always want to get the create ads. If you've never created an ad, somewhere along the channel here, they're going to ask you to register, a credit card if you want to do paid ads and stuff like that. We've done a bunch of this, so you're not seeing that, but nonetheless, it's pretty straightforward. And I would say probably
Well, while
the
you're there, while you're up there, why don't we tell people what Boost Your Post is?
Yeah, Boost Your Post is a way to take a post that you have on your Facebook page and pushing that out and marketing that out to an audience. So if I click this, it will look into all the various pages that I'm connected to. For example, if I chose this page, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and this drop down, I could look at the most recent posts, and they're all in here. And I could pick any one of them. Let's say I pick that one. I could then hit continue, and then I can promote that post and spend X number of dollars and target an audience, etc.
Okay.
I don't use that very much personally, but I do know people who do. It's a good way to get likes and things like that. We try to target specifically, something specific to a specific audience that's looking for something that they need help with, a solution to finding a particular type of property or things like that. And so we, an example is send people to your website, increase conversions on your website. Are the two main ones that we would use. So if I hit send people to a website, I'm just going to put in my I normally wouldn't send people to this site for real estate because it's got nothing to do with it. I would send it to a client site, but just so you can see what it looks like, you have to enter the site or the landing page or whatever you want to call it that you would like it to go to. It asks you to add a conversion pixel. It's optional. We don't have time to show that right now, but I do recommend it. So I'm going to hit continue for purposes of example. And down here is where you start going through the process of selecting your audience, like down through this section here. And on the right, you'll see right now the potential reach is 184 million people. It's a lot of people, and that's just the United States. So if you're just trying to target people who are living in the United States, that's what it would be. You can change by age groups here. You can pick all men, or all men and women, men, just women, everyone in this location. But here's kind of some of the stuff I alluded to a few minutes ago. People who live in this location, people recently in this location, people traveling in this location. So if for example, if I typed in Myrtle Beach right here, and I select Myrtle Beach as my target, you see this went all the way down from 184 million to 370,000 people now.
Which is still a large number of people.
It is for sure. But
it's hard to call all those people back.
Well, not all of them will reply for sure. So
I know.
but if that's everyone that's in this location. So that means everyone who lives here, everyone who recently was here, and everyone traveling. But if I check just traveling, there's currently 20, at least that are connected through Facebook. There's currently 26,000 people who are in the Myrtle Beach area right now traveling in this area. If I then pulled in some additional interests and targets, let's see, like Zillow, they had an interest in Zillow. Well, Zillow, there's 4,303,420 people. But when I chose that, you see that whatever it was a minute ago is now gone all the way down to 1,100 people. There's 1,100 people currently traveling in the Myrtle Beach area who have been doing something with Zillow. So that would be an interesting audience to me to approach and see if any of those people are looking to buy a second home, a rental property. It could be an investor, all that kind of stuff. So those are just some examples, and there are so many. Like, sorry, if I go to if I erase that, if you in interest, there's all these different sections in here that you can open and click and look at and come up with different ways and creative ways to target an audience around something that you want to promote to them. So behaviors is another area. So where is it? I always forget where these are.
Right. Well, agents need to get in there and they're thinking about this. They can go through this process without even having to really place an ad if they just want to see how to operate it.
Yeah, yeah,
because you
absolutely.
don't, yeah, you can go through that process and then put in your credit card at the end. So you can actually get in there and take a look at it. But I think Facebook, if you have, if you've never done it, try it for a while.
Yep,
And I mean, you can set how much you want to spend per day for how long, and so set yourself a budget and
yep.
try. So I've had agents tell me they've had great response with that. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I stopped
yeah.
sharing the page, but hopefully that gives you just a little bit of an idea. I couldn't recommend it higher. I believe in it 100 million%. It is just an incredibly effective tool to target a
Mhm.
specific type of person, and then if you match that up with the right type of offer that in real estate that you have, whether that's somebody who's looking to buy a house or list their house, you can target by zip codes. I mean, there's just so many
Right.
great ways you can use it. So I know we
Just
didn't say
around.
we're going to keep these to exactly 30
Yeah.
minutes, but I know we were going to try and stay within that range.
Right.
So I
So
just noticed that
yeah.
we're at that time frame. So I thought
I
I
think
better at
that's a
least.
I think that's a good way to stop right there and just kind of bring it in and just let people know that we're going to do a series for the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk about social media. So today we're Facebook. We'll probably do a little bit more talking about Facebook again next week, along with Twitter
Yeah.
and some other social media things. Again, we might bring up again Periscope and LinkedIn. So, and how everybody should have those profiles and whatever else people want to talk about.
And
So,
I'll even throw it out there in case there are people out there who think Google Plus is dead. I'll still tell them you better stay there.
all right. So I guess that's
Yeah.
a plug for Google Plus.
Yeah, I always plug Google, man. I'm
There
telling you,
you
if they
go.
ever watch any of my stuff, I hope they treat me well.
Very good.
Awesome.
Anyway, all right, Pierre. So we will be here again next Thursday for Quick Fire Friday on Thursdays.
Yes. I like that, don't you? I think that's good. Quiet Fridays now on Thursdays.
Yeah, there you go. Makes people go, okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that'll sound good. And we'll get a link up to people to join next week. We're a little bit slow on the uptake on that one this week, but
Yeah,
um,
all my fault. Miss Sue
no,
was on
it's
it and
fine.
Pierre was not on
It's
it.
it's busy. It's a busy time. It's always busy. So
Yeah.
we will get that out there. Look for it the beginning of the week next week on Facebook and look for the link there. So Pierre, thank you again for joining me and you,
Yeah.
and have a great weekend.
Thanks. Great working with you as always, Miss Sue. And
Always.
everyone have a great week. And
And again, I know we could just talk and talk and talk, but we are going to try to keep these down to 30 minutes. So
yeah, we'll see everybody next Thursday for Quick Fire Fridays.
cool. Okay. Bye.
Bye.